We tend to see life as a series of battles, but why? It's always light versus shadow, love versus fear, success versus failure. We're taught to frame our entire existence as a clash between opposites, where one side has to dominate the other. But what if that's all a misunderstanding? What if there's a secret, ancient principle that reveals these opposites aren't enemies at all, but two sides of the very same coin? Getting this one concept doesn't just change your point of view, it hands you the master key for understanding reality itself. And no, this isn't some new age fad. This is ancient wisdom with roots in texts like the Kybalion. First published back in 1908, this book is said to contain the teachings of a legendary figure, Hermes Trismegistus, a sage representing a blend of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. At the heart of these teachings are 7 universal laws. Today we're zeroing in on one of the most powerful, the principle of polarity. The principle states, everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. But here's the mind-bending twist. Those opposites are actually identical in their nature, they just differ by degree. So what does that actually mean? Let's take the classic example, hot and cold. They feel like total opposites, right? But they aren't. They're just different points on the same spectrum of one thing, temperature. There's no invisible line where hot ends and cold begins. Really, what we call cold is just a lower degree of heat. Did you know that your refrigerator doesn't make cold air? It only removes heat. The exact same thing is true for light and darkness. Darkness is just the absence of light, not some separate force it's at war with. They're two ends of the same stick. This idea is so powerful because it dissolves paradoxes and shows us that opposites are deeply connected. They are a single, unified whole. This law isn't just some abstract idea. You can see it everywhere, from hard science to our own daily lives. In science, think about the atom. Its entire structure relies on a balance between positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons. They aren't fighting each other. They're complementary forces, and their perfect interaction is what creates all the matter in our world. You see it in nature, too. The ebb and flow of the tides aren't two separate events, but a single, rhythmic dance with the moon. Day and night aren't enemies. They are the natural result of one thing, the constant spin of the earth, but most importantly, we feel it in our own lives. You can't truly grasp what courage is without knowing fear. They are just different responses to a challenge. You can't fully appreciate deep joy without having felt sorrow. Each gives the other its meaning. This is where this ancient law becomes a game changer for modern life. When you get how polarity works, you unlock what Hermetic philosophy calls mental transmutation, the art of changing one mental state into another. So when you're facing something that feels negative, like a failure, this law teaches you that its opposite success is already connected to it. They're part of the same thing. The key is to consciously shift your focus and your energy from one end of the pole to the other. Here's a simple way to practice this. The next time you feel a state like anxiety, first just acknowledge it without fighting it. Then consciously start looking for its opposite potential. You could tell yourself, okay, I feel uncertain right now, which means I must be on the spectrum of clarity. I can move toward it. Or I'm experiencing a sense of lack, which is sharpening my focus on creating abundance. This isn't about pretending the problem isn't there. It's about recognizing that every reality contains its opposite pole. When you shift your focus, you begin to slide along the scale toward the state you actually want. You stop wrestling with the darkness and simply start walking toward the light you know is there. If this idea clicks with you and you're curious to learn more about the laws that shape our reality, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below for all to see. Life isn't a battleground of warring opposites. It's a dance of dualities. Joy and sorrow, strength and weakness, light and shadow, they're all threads in the same beautiful fabric. When you understand this ancient law, you're no longer just reacting to life. You become the master of your own perception. You learn to find the harmony between the poles, and in doing that, you learn to harmonize with the entire universe. Let us know in the comments, what's one duality in your own life that you might see a little differently now? Your understanding may help another to see the truth. Thank you for watching.